provided by the applicant demonstrate an inability to operate a marijuana business in a compliant manner.
Just to clarify that,
Just a second, is there support?
Well, I think she's going to have to change the motion, though. I'll support it, but you might have just, it's 4023A. There's no F that I see.
Yes, 4023A.
4023A, and under 4023F, it's
No, that's
in
not
the section.
related. These are just
Right.
related to that.
Did you get it? 4023F? 3A, I'm sorry, A.
so we have a motion to deny just under 402(3)A.
A. Mhm.
Thank you.
Support.
Moved and supported to deny Detroit Herbal Health LLC a pre-qualification and a license. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
David LaMontagne,
Yes.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover, Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 5 yeses. Motion passes.
27, Capital Solutions Ypsilanti LLC for a pre-qualification and a license. Wishes.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to deny.
Support.
Moved and supported to deny. Is there discussion?
4023A, both personal business probity and responsibility. The applicant has failed to provide adequate records to demonstrate an ability to operate a marijuana business in a compliant manner.
Okay. Moved and supported to deny Capital Solutions Ypsilanti LLC a pre-qualification and license. Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call roll.
David LaMontagne,
Yes.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Johnson, you have 5 yeses. Motion passes.
Okay, 28. HH Enterprises LLC for a pre-qualification only.
And I would point out that this is the same ownership as the previous application.
I'll make the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved and supported to deny,
Oh, I don't think we've heard what the motion is yet.
oh, we'll get to those tonight.
Yeah.
Motion to deny.
Motion to deny.
Okay. Want to list something, David?
Yep, 4023A, personal and business probity and responsibility. And the applicant has failed to provide adequate records to demonstrate an ability to operate a marijuana business in a compliant manner.
Okay, it's been moved and supported to deny HH Enterprises LLC a pre-qualification. Any more discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
David LaMontagne,
Yes.
Vivian Picard,
Yes.
Nicole Cover,
Yes.
Donald Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman Rick Johnson.
Yes,
Chairman Johnson, you have 5 yeses. Motion passes.
thank you. Okay, next, number 8, department report. Director?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As always, a statistical update for the benefit of the board as well as the viewing public here. As of 10/26, which is last Friday, we have received 804 applications. As of today, 120 of those have been approved by the board, 79 have been denied. But we do have 16 of those that are in inactive status in terms of our processing, which either means they've been voluntarily withdrawn by the applicant or we've not had communication sometime with the applicant. That doesn't mean that they're dead for good, but we're no longer working on processing those.
Excuse me, that was
yes.
16 or 60?
16.
16.
Sorry.
Oh, the numbers one more time. 804 and
804, 120 approved, 79 denied.
And the 16 is outside of that.
Correct. That is a subset of the 804. Class A growers, 23 still have been submitted, 1 approved, 1 denied. Class B growers, 4 submitted, none yet presented to the board. Grower Class C, 161 submitted, 11 approved, 1 denied. 53 processors submitted, 8 approved, 0 denied. 188 provisioning center applications, 37 approved, 24 denied. 12 secure transporters submitted, 3 approved, 0 denied. 7 safety compliance facilities submitted, 4 have been approved, 0 denied. And for those step 2 license applications, we also have 8 of those that are in inactive status in our system. We still are standing at 108 municipalities that have opted in under the MMFLA at this point. Any questions from the board on any of those? Also wanted to let the board know that we did issue some additional advisory bulletins and communications. On 10/25, we sent an email blast to let everyone know that the online application process for the patient registry is now live and operating. That provides an opportunity for a patient who has not previously been registered, therefore not renewing, to submit their registry card application online if their certifying physician has created an online account in order to certify their medical condition. So we're very, very excited to have that up and running. And then over the next couple months, we should allow for other functions such as renewing a registry card or making amendments to a registry card to be available through that online portal as well. We also issued bulletins on the 22nd of October and again this morning regarding the transition period and the 10/31 date and its implications on facilities that were temporarily operating, to try and provide some clarity as to what's indicated in the rules regarding the operation of those facilities and their impact on the application process.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
To the October 31st date, and what's, I've heard a lot, and I appreciate all the concerns about the supply of medical marijuana. I also appreciate the need to move forward with a regulated market to ensure patient safety, which I believe everyone sitting here is our number one issue. Ultimately, I want to encourage full compliance with the law and the rules, but I do not intend to deny an applicant at the November 8th meeting who maintains their existing marijuana product but does not operate the facility, meaning they do not transfer or receive any new product after 10/31. That would be my position on that issue. Ultimately, the board is charged with looking at the overall fitness of applicants, but I will not use this single criteria as a disqualifier. I will evaluate the applicant as a whole. I would encourage other board members to view things the same way or similar, and I expect the department will provide a complete report of the inspection of each facility documenting the status of the operation. That's just my personal belief. I don't know if any board members want to comment to that, but that's kind of where I'm at today. I do believe being able to provide product is important, and making sure that we follow in the best possible way we can. And I'm done.
Chairman, I just want to echo your sentiment, and I appreciate you saying something. I understand there's got to be some date, that people write out there, and I think this, some of it's arbitrary, some of it isn't. There needs to be, recognition of the fact that of the people that have played by the rules, doing the right thing. You have to balance the two competing interests. So I appreciate what you said, and I support your concept there.
And Mr. Chairman, I support it as well because it's ultimately what the need is really to look out for the patient. And I think this supports that.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Along those same lines, the other part that we didn't talk about was public safety in general. And that is something we have to be mindful of in everything that we do, because everything that we do, maybe what the five of us do is pretty minimal. But what the department does, that affects law enforcement, that affects public safety in general. And that's a huge concern for us. Again, we've had 2 murders in the past 6 weeks at marijuana facilities. One beat in the head with a baseball bat. That's a problem. That's public safety. That's what we have to deal with. And we need to keep that in mind as well. We need to make sure that folks are doing the right thing the right way. When they get their application, on their way to the application, and when they're in the process. If it looks like you're not, in the interest of public safety, I can't support that. So we need to stay on the line going forward.
Anything else? Nope.
That's all from me,
That's
sir.
all, Director?
Yes.
Thank you. Public comment. Do we have any cards? Yep.
Yes.
Nope.
Don Cushionmeyer? Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, my name's Don Koschmeider. I'm from CRAP, Criminalized Racketeering Against Patients, formerly of Best Cadillac Provisions, Cadillac. Only got 2 minutes, but I'm talking about 2014, House passed 4271. It was stalled in the Senate. The last day, police agencies opposed the bill, and it died in a lame duck session. I think it was a good bill. Bill Schuette and his minions have waged war on patients, and especially mom and pop businesses, while policing for profit. Racketeering, there's so much racketeering, it's beyond belief. Many of the same police officers, the same medical marijuana provisioning centers, are now retired and have applied for licenses themselves. Further evidence of racketeering. So much racketeering has occurred. Ron Bogie has now been dethroned by Killarney, another billionaire who's taken over the transport industry. The words of the 2008 Voter Initiative Medical Marijuana Act, they have to be given meaning, and they mean what they say. Any registered qualifying patient or registered primary caregiver who sells marijuana to someone who is not allowed the medical use, this is what happens to you. Why are those words in there? Why does it say any registered qualifying patient who sells? I believe the Supreme Court got it wrong with McQueen, and hopefully there'll be new precedents. Thank you.
Thank you. Jerome Russell?
Hi, Jerome Bustle. I'm from Morenci, Michigan. I would like to ask members of the licensing board to stop recusing themselves from vote on facilities within my community. I do not feel a board member's personal relationship with municipalities, police, or city staff should have any effect on an applicant. If that were the case, I would expect recusals from other board members for the same reason. Constant recusal on votes could make my community less desirable for potential applicants to build in. I would also like the board to consider not accepting applications from communities that have ordinance on the books that restrict 2008 medical marijuana program caregivers from providing medication to their loved ones. A municipality with zoning ordinance or home occupation ordinance restricting caregiving while participating in MMFLA, in my opinion, creates a monopoly. Take Sturgis, Michigan, for example. There are 0 caregivers utilizing the zoning ordinance that forces them to obtain property in the city's manufacturing district. Patients either have to grow for themselves, in which some patients are too elderly or disabled or too young to do so, or the only other option is purchasing from provisioning centers, in which the municipality will ultimately profit from their share of the excise tax. Also, product demand should increase application interest, resulting in profit from application free fees, property sales, taxation on the properties, water sales, etc. The only ordinance that I feel that is acceptable in an opt-in municipality is that caregivers growing and processing should not affect the neighboring properties. Thank you very much.
Sharon R. Williams.
Good afternoon. And Chairman, it's Sharon, but it's okay. No one ever says it correctly when they see it. I would like for us to all just sort of take into consideration the breadth of what this board is allowed to do per the rules. Per the statute. In Section 302, the board has the general responsibility for implementing this act. The board has the powers and duties specified in this act and all other powers necessary and proper to fully and effectively implement and administer this act for the purpose of licensing, regulating, and enforcing the licensing and regulation systems established under this act for marijuana growth, processing, testing, and transporting. And it includes some of the following, and I won't bore you with all of the sections of the breadth of your duty and powers, but I think it's important as we begin to wrap our mind around how this act is implemented, how your decisions, the impact that your decisions have, and those of attorneys and caregivers and people under the act. For example, the board has the power and the duty to consult with the department in promulgating rules and emergency rules as necessary to implement, administer, and enforce this act. Provide oversight of marijuana facility through the board's inspectors, agents, and auditors through the state police or attorney general for certifying the purpose of revenue, certifying the revenue, receiving complaints from the public, or conducting investigations. The board has the right, the power, the duties to provide oversight of marijuana facilities to ensure that marijuana-infused products meet health and safety standards. There are several other sections under 302, but one of the ones I'd like to also point out in Section 303(1), the board has the jurisdiction over the operation of all marijuana facilities. So as the board thinks about its impact in implementing this act, I'd like for them to also embrace not just licensing, not just the up and down vote here, but all of the powers, duties, and responsibilities that come along with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Michael Pavelak.
Hello, I'm Michael Pavlak. I'm the owner of Stash Stock LLC. We are a Michigan verified third-party integrator for the metric system, and we're located in Troy, Michigan. We've been working with Lelantos Transport. They're one of the three currently licensed transport services in Michigan to build a system that allows us to track the real-time location and content of all vehicles in their fleet. This is both historically and in real time. We believe that this could not only help with the secure transportation, but hopefully alleviate any concerns with to-home delivery for patients. We're able to track the exact content of all the vehicles, including any medicine, and where that vehicle has traveled to, so we can verify the location of any deliveries or pickups. During this process, though, it's been a little bit difficult. I've reached out to Franwell probably 4 times this month to get access to their testing portal so that we can kind of create some fake transfers and understand this process better. We've had no response from them. We reached out to the state a couple months ago with some questions regarding some corner cases in the transport chain of custody in these things, and we've had no response. We're just trying to maintain visibility for law enforcement and everyone involved in this stuff, and it's been kind of a battle. So hopefully that can be addressed going forward.
Thank you. Jim Demetrio. Thanks, Jim.
Good afternoon. I'd first like to start out by commending Laura and this board for your diligence in vetting and approving qualified candidates. Your efforts are the foundation of a successful and well-regulated industry, which is essential for the establishment of banking services to the community. My company, PayQuick, is a banking services provider licensed by the state with bonding in place. We enable licensed cannabis businesses to get their cash into a local bank and to electronically conduct their business. By using PayQuick, licensed cannabis businesses can get paid and make payments to all of their vendors in our loop and outside our loop electronically. If interested in learning more about PayQuick, go to www.payquick.com. That's PayQuick, PAYQWICK, or you can call 888-794-2564. I'll also be in the lobby for questions. Thank you for your time today.
Thanks, Jim. Denise.
Not even trying my last name anymore, I see. It's okay.
Slaughtered it 3 months.
Good afternoon. It's quite a while. I wanted to bring just to the board's attention an issue that I discovered this past weekend at a conference of a bunch of us marijuana attorneys. Came to our attention that the capital that is being designated for a license applicant's capitalization purposes is being considered sort of gone forever at this point and not being able to be reused at any point after the applicant is licensed. Now, I don't think that that's intentional. I think that's simply an oversight and part of the learning process of licensing in this industry. I would, however, like Lara and BMMR and the board to consider adopting some policy for a timeline for when that capital can be released. So, for example, a provisioning center who is licensed today and has that $300,000 capital sitting in the bank, but has already built out their facility, been through inspection and been licensed, is now being told that they cannot designate that capital for potentially another provisioning center or a processing facility. They have to go out and find another different $300,000. And I'm sure that you can understand that's going to start becoming a hardship. Licensed businesses who have just received their licenses want to start trying to grow and expand. And obviously the capital is maybe also going to be needed. So if the board and Lara and BMMR could consider some sort of timeline for a release of that capitalization, I think that that would be beneficial for the licensees. Thank you.
Thanks. Any more cards? cards? Brant? Have you got a card?
I didn't find a card.
Oh,
If you could just,
Go ahead. We'll let you, it's Brant Johnson.
Brant Johnson, how are you doing today? Just a little to get some clarity, because I'd hate to repeat something incorrectly. What the chairman mentioned toward the end of the meeting about not denying applicants that have not been approved that may stay open after October 31st. Can you repeat what the sentiment is? And so I won't incorrectly state what you said.
It's my intention that the next meeting is like 8 days away, I think, roughly. And I know our staff here are working to get a lot more applications in. And some of that will not, obviously isn't going to happen in time for today. So this is going to, from my perspective, allow them to be able to get on the agenda for the 8th, if at all possible, to try to help move that along, because I believe that will help do what we want to do most, and that is provide the products for the sick people that are actually using it and needing it. So,
And is it the comments from the other members that you all support not denying those who may stay open after the 31st? Is that what was said today?
I think the board will look at that in a very fair way.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, I didn't, there's no, yeah, please fill out the card, Brant. Thank you. Is there anything else? No more cards? Good, we're done. Board members, any comments?
Mr. Chairman, the reason we're here today was an extra meeting that we agreed to have on very short notice, so we could comply.
Time's up. Time's up, sorry.
Buzzer went off.
So people could get through before this October 31st date. I know Laura, the application section, worked extremely hard, and they did a very good job of putting things together, and working just as hard as the enforcement section that's out there conducting their investigations, their inspections to get these applications in front of us. I don't think enough has been said. Everybody, many people are impatient and maybe even angry at the pace at which this is going. We understand there's lawyers and lobbyists that are getting paid. There are applicants that want to get paid. Laura is getting paid. There's 5 people in this room who are not getting paid, and that's us. And we're doing the best we can. We've looked at everything that's come before us, and we'll continue to do that. And we're doing this for the applicants. Laura truly is your best friend, and they are going to be better friends going forward for everybody that gets a license. I guess that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? We need a motion to adjourn. Motion has been moved to adjourn. Is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported. Please call the roll.
David